What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Soon to be Hall of Famer and former Baltimore Raven and former Arizona Cardinal linebacker Terrell Suggs has been claimed off of waivers by the Kansas City Chiefs as they look to improve their pass rush. They're one of their defensive ends, the defensive end Okafor got hurt. I think he had a torn pectoral injury, and he's probably going to be out for the season, for the rest of the season. So in a move to bolster their pass rush, the Kansas City Chiefs pick up Terrell Suggs off of waivers. Now, just a few days ago, Terrell Suggs was waived by the Arizona Cardinals. That was his hometown team. He was looking to, hopefully help that young team develop and maybe make a surprise playoff push and make the playoffs, but it didn't work out like that as they lost a lot of close games, man, that they could have won, especially the first game of the season against the Detroit Lions. That's a game that if the receiver don't drop the pass late in the fourth quarter, maybe they go down there. If the safety, either cornerback, somebody in the secondary dropped an interception that would have set them up for a game-winning field goal. So they lost a lot of games like that where they had a chance to win. They played the Ravens close. They had a chance to beat the 49ers both times, played them close. So if they could have won a few of those games, who knows what would have happened. But since they're want to look at some young players, and they're obviously going in another direction, going toward the youth movement, the Arizona Cardinals decided to let Terrell Suggs go and hopefully link on with a contender. Now, Terrell Suggs just the other day said that if the Baltimore Ravens, he wants to go back to the Ravens, and if another team tried to claim him off waivers, that he would strongly consider not reporting. So that's what he said just a day or two ago. Now that the Kansas City Chiefs have picked him up, and they are contending, their team with a chance to go to the Super Bowl. It'd be interesting to see what Terrell does. Stand firm on what he said a couple of days ago about not wanting to go to play for anybody but the Baltimore Ravens. So we'll see what happens on that game. But you look at Terrell Suggs' stats this year. They were pedestrian stats. He had like around 38 tackles, 5.5 sacks. So it wasn't bad stats, but it was just solid, okay stats that he put on. But this guy is definitely going to the Hall of Fame when his career is over with. Man, the guy's got 138 sacks during his 13-year career. So he's had basically average 10 sacks a season for 13 years, a little over 10 sacks a season for 13 years. So this guy's had a tremendous Hall of Fame career. The Chiefs. If you go to the Chiefs, man, it'll be interesting, man. He's got a lot of experience that he can bring to that defense, man. He don't have the quickness and the burst that he had when he was younger, but he still has a lot of experience, and he still has a lot of savvy, old school tricks of the trade that he can implement, and he's still capable of having a big game, especially when you get down to the playoffs, and maybe making that play to get Kansas City over the hump, get them to their first Super Bowl since the early 70s. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if he reports to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. I think it's a good opportunity for him, man. The Chiefs are the hottest team in football outside of the Baltimore Ravens. They've been playing some tremendous ball since Patrick Mahomes boy came back. The defense has been playing outstanding. The defensive coordinator that they replaced last year, and Don Sutton, they got the old defense coordinator from the New York Giants. His name escapes me right now, but he's done a tremendous job with the Kansas City Chiefs, especially over the last 5 or 6 games. His defense has really improved, man. So it'll be interesting to see if he does report to the Kansas City Chiefs, man, because right now, if I had to make a pick, man, of the AFC Championship game, I would have to pick Baltimore and Kansas City to be the two teams that meet up in that AFC Championship game. As good as New England's season has been as far as records, I think they're 10-4, 11-3. They've had a tremendous season. The offense is just not putting up enough points, in my opinion, to advance far in the playoffs. Defense has been real good, but the offense has just been. They don't have a receiver on the outside that can get any kind of separation. Got Julian Edelman, who's banged up. They lost Gronkowski from last season. They got a bunch of young receivers who have proven themselves. And Neary and guys of that, putting up there, Nikhil Berry, number 15. Yeah, if I butcher his name, I apologize for that. But anyway, he's been very inconsistent. So the next two games, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out for New England. They haven't even wrapped up their division yet. So we'll see what happens with Terrell Suggs, man. But it's going to be good, man. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. That's just the latest news in the NFL, man. Terrell Suggs has been claimed off waivers by the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, usually how the claim of waiver goes, the worst teams, I think, gets the first dibs on picking up a playoff waiver, and it goes from the worst to the best. And so he must have to go through a lot of teams because Kansas City Chiefs are toward the, they're toward the top of the list as far as the best teams. So he went through a lot of teams, and nobody picked him up off waivers. I don't know if teams took heed to what he had said, that he wouldn't play for anybody but the Baltimore Ravens, or the teams look at the film and say, hey, he just, he's a shell of his former self, and we're not going to bring in a guy like that. We're good with what we got in this locker room. I don't know if it was either or what the case may be, but he went down a bunch of teams before Kansas City put the claim in on him. So we'll see what happens. It'd been interesting to see if Kansas City wouldn't have put the claim on. Baltimore was picking after what he was. It'd be interesting to see what the Baltimore Ravens would have picked him up, because that defense is playing at a high level. But what they would have wanted to pick up Terrell Suggs to add to their outstanding defense. Been interesting to see, but we'll never know now that Kansas City's picked him up. And another thing, maybe Kansas City picked him up to they got a heat that he would want to go to Baltimore. They were like, okay, we gonna pick you up. If you either gonna play for us or you ain't gonna play for nobody. Maybe they did that just to keep him away from Baltimore. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what Terrell Suggs' next move is going to be. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.